Have you ever been waiting on an apology you know you're never gonna get, and then one day it hit you? The apology you've been starving for the most was the one you never gave yourself? Let me ask you something real right out the gate. What if the person you need closure from isn't them? What if it's you? Because we talk a lot about forgiving other people, and beautiful souls, we should, but nobody warned us about how heavy it feels to carry resentment toward your own soul. So today, day 6 of this self forgiveness journey, we're going to talk about the apology you never gave yourself. And I'm not here to sugarcoat it, I'm here to set you free. Take a breath. Let's go there. Nani, welcome back, my love. If this is your first time tuning in, I'm dAY, life coach and your voice of truth when your mind is trying to lie to you. And this series, this 28-day self-forgiveness journey, it isn't about pretending we never messed up. It's about learning how to heal without punishing ourselves forever. Day 6 is personal because I didn't realize how much of my pain was coming from the way I was still treating me like the enemy. I remember one night I was sitting on the edge of my bed, phone face down, lights off, just drained. I had spent the whole day replaying everything I did wrong, everything I should have known, everything I let slide, everything I tolerated, all the times I abandoned myself to keep the peace. And I don't know if you've ever had one of those nights, but it felt like my own mind was a courtroom, and I was both the defendant and the judge and the executioner. I wasn't just hurt. I was angry at myself for being hurt. And sitting there in that silence, something rose up in me, real quiet but real clear. dAY, you keep asking people to say sorry, but you have never once said sorry to you. So by the end of this episode, you're going to understand what that apology really is, why it's been stuck in your chest, and how to finally give it so your healing can stop feeling like a war. So what does it mean, the apology you never gave yourself? It means this. It's the moment you look at your own humanity and say, I didn't deserve the way I treated me. I didn't deserve the way I talked to me. I didn't deserve the way I left me behind. Because let's be honest, some of our deepest wounds didn't come from other people. They came from the way we stayed, the way we kept choosing what hurt us, the way we ignored our own intuition, the way we betrayed our own boundaries, the way we shrunk ourselves and then blamed ourselves for shrinking. And we don't call that what it is. We call it being strong. We call it being loyal. We call it doing the best I could. But your spirit knows the truth. Your body knows the truth. You are surviving. And somewhere in that survival, you learn to make yourself the villain. Let me ask you, how many times have you punished yourself for not knowing what you know now? How many times have you called yourself stupid for loving somebody real hard? How many times have you questioned your worth because you didn't leave sooner? How many times have you said, what was I thinking? Instead of, I was trying to make it through? What happens when we ignore this part of ourselves? We stay in emotional jail. Even after the situation ends, even after the people leave, even after the season changes. We keep serving a life sentence for mistakes we already learned from. And beautiful souls, that's not healing. That's self-abandonment with a different name. Let me tell you about one of the hardest apologies I ever had to give myself. There was a time in my life where I was so hungry for love that I kept calling scraps a meal. I don't say that to shame myself. I say it because it's real. I was addicted to attention, addicted to being chosen, addicted to proving I was worth staying for. And I wore it like confidence too. I'd tell myself, I'm just loving hard. I'm just giving chances. I'm just a good woman. But behind closed doors, I was breaking. I ignored red flags because I didn't trust my ability to survive without someone. I stayed quiet when I needed to speak. I accepted half-truths because I was scared of the whole truth. And instead of being gentle with myself, I got cruel. Oh, I got cruel. I would look in the mirror and say, why are you like this? Why do you keep doing the same thing? What is wrong with you? And the wildest part, I was talking to myself the same way the people who hurt me talked to me. That's how I knew the wound wasn't just what they did. The wound was what I kept repeating. Then one day, after another cycle of betrayal, I remember sitting in my car crying so hard I couldn't even breathe right. And I didn't just feel heartbreak. I felt disappointment in myself. Not because I loved, but because I left myself behind in the process. And finally I said it out loud. dAY, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't protect you. I'm sorry I didn't listen to you. I'm sorry I made you think your needs were too much. I'm sorry I chased love like I didn't already deserve it. I'm sorry I treated you like the problem instead of the one who needed care. And when I said that, something loosened inside me. It wasn't instant perfection, but it was the first moment I stopped being my own enemy. Here's the takeaway: you don't heal just by leaving people, you heal by returning to yourself. And that starts with an apology that's overdue. All right, my beautiful soul, let's get practical. Because I'm not just here to make you cry, I want you to change. Here's a step by step way to give yourself this apology. Step one: name what you're still blaming yourself for. Not the surface stuff, the real stuff. Maybe it's, I should have left sooner. I ignored my intuition. I chose them over me. I stayed too long. I broke my own heart. I didn't protect my peace. Write it down, say it out loud, because healing can't happen in denial. Step two: tell the truth about why you did it. And I don't mean excuses, I mean context. Ask yourself, what was I afraid of back then? What did I believe I had to do to survive? What did I not know yet? What part of me was just trying to be loved? What body memory was I living out? This is where you stop calling yourself stupid and start calling yourself human. Step three: speak the apology like you're speaking to someone you love. Put your hand on your chest, look in the mirror if you can, and say it slow. Example: beautiful soul, I'm sorry I didn't choose you. I'm sorry I didn't listen to your voice. I'm sorry I thought love meant losing myself. I'm sorry I made you earn what you already deserved. Let your body feel it. Let yourself cry if you need to. Let there be silence. Step four: forgive with a promise, not just words. Self-forgiveness isn't a moment, it's a commitment. So ask, what do I need to promise myself now? Maybe I will not abandon you for anyone again. I will protect your peace even if it costs me people. I will trust your intuition. I will speak up when something hurts. Write that promise down. Say it like a vow. Step five: practice compassion when the shame comes back, because it will try to come back. When it does, say, I already apologized. I already learned. I'm not living there anymore. You don't have to repunish yourself to prove you're changed. Let me tell you what happens. When you really give yourself this apology, you stop needing people to validate your pain because you validate it. You stop chasing closure from conversations that were never going to be honest anyway. You stop replaying every mistake like you're still the same person who made it. You start feeling lighter, not because the past disappears, but because you finally stop dragging it behind you. You begin to trust yourself again. And trust me, that is a different kind of peace. Now, let me tell you a common pitfall. Some of us try to apologize to ourselves, but we do it in a shaming way. Like, I'm sorry I was so dumb. I'm sorry I let that happen. I'm sorry I was weak. No, my beautiful soul, that's not an apology. That's another punch. Apologize without insulting who you were. You were surviving. You were learning. You were doing what you knew. And now you know more. That's growth, not guilt. So let's wrap this up like family. Day 6 is about admitting a hard truth. You have been waiting on forgiveness from yourself while still holding yourself hostage. But today you get to unlock the door. You get to say, I'm sorry for how I treated you. I'm sorry for how long I stayed away from you. I'm sorry for letting shame raise me louder than love. And then you get to choose different, not because you're trying to earn your worth, but because you finally believe you already have it. Here's your affirmation for today. Say it with me. I forgive myself for surviving the way I knew how. I release the shame of my past, and I return to myself with love. Let that sit. You are not behind in your healing. You are right on time for your breakthrough. Thank you for sitting with me today, my love. I don't take it lightly that you let me into your heart, your car rides, your kitchens, your quiet moments, wherever you are listening from. If this episode spoke to you, share it with someone who needs permission to stop punishing themselves. Make sure you follow the podcast so you don't miss the rest of this journey. And if you want more support, journal prompts, and resources, come visit me at https://www.wayofthewiseowl.com. Until next time, be gentle with your healing. Be honest with your heart. And remember, you don't owe your past a lifetime. You owe your soul a comeback. Talk soon.